Hey family, this is James Taylor. I'd like to take a moment to share with you some of the notes from today's sermon. Right now here at Heavenly Vision, we're in the midst of a series entitled Evangelive. And Evangelive is to live a life that reflects Christ and ignites faith in others. Today, we came out of the passage from Luke chapter 10, and the title of our message was The Samaritan's Gospel. In that passage, Jesus is talking to a lawyer of some sorts. And while he's engaging with this lawyer, he shares with him a parable of a man who was coming down from Jerusalem, going to Jericho. And while he was on his way, he was attacked by robbers. Of course, they robbed him of all of his belongings. They beat him and they left him for dead. The Bible says that as the man was laying there, a priest and a Levite came by. And to our surprise, as we're reading the text, we learned that each of those people who were prominent figures in the house of God, prominent figures in the temple, as opposed to helping the man, which is the good, godly, Christian thing to do, they decided to cross on the other side and not help him. The amazing thing is that I've learned is that many times with us as Christians, we tend to allow our self-image or even our own personal agenda stop us from doing the Christian thing or the right thing or the good or most certainly the God thing when it comes to helping people in their life. Now, as you look further in the text, the Bible says that a Samaritan was heading on a journey in that direction and he seen the man. Now, unlike the people of God, the Bible says this Samaritan seen the man, and the first thing that he did was he had compassion on him, which was the first point. That if we're going to be the people that God has called us to be, if we're going to evangelize, the first thing we got to do is have compassion on people. We can't do anything of substance for God unless we feel it internally first. The second thing the Bible says that he did is that he stopped, he got off his beast, he bandaged up the man's wounds, he poured wine and oil on the man, put him on his beast, took him to an inn, and gave him care. That leads us to our second point, that if we're going to be the people who God has called us to be, and if we're going to evangelize, we got to care for people. And that care has to be exhibited through our actions toward them. It may be costly, it may inconvenience us, but if we are going to be who God called us to be, we have to extend care. The last thing that the text tells us is that even in all of the care that he gave, even when he had to leave, the Bible says he left 2 denarii or 2 days pay with the innkeeper and said, keep this man until I get back. And if there's any other bills that he incurs, I'll pay for them. That shows us that he had consistency. He didn't just help him one time and leave him, but he was there to be a part of his healing process, to be a part of his development. If we want to be the people that God has called us to be, if we want to evangelize, we not only we have to help people and care for people and have compassion on them, but we got to be consistent with them so that we can see them through their place of deliverance. The last thing that Jesus says in that text, he asks the lawyer, he says, who do you think is the best to their neighbor, the Levite, the priest, or the Samaritan? The lawyer answers, of course, the Samaritan. He says, well, you go and do the same. So I want to encourage you today. If you want to really evangelize, go and do the same. Show compassion, give care, and be consistent. I love you, family. God bless you. Have a great Sunday. Peace.